You could be an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero.
Hi everyone, this is AJ and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be discussing She-Hulk, but more so Marvel and the fact that they are afraid of female characters. You wouldn't think it, you'd think that's strange, but let's explore the reasoning behind this and why I've come to this conclusion. So let's get into it. Okay, yeah, so what's happened is I've recently watched episode 4 of She-Hulk, and very glaringly in my face it became obvious that Marvel still have no confidence in its female characters. And I want to talk about this. I want to go into it and explore a little bit of the history and why I've come to this conclusion and why it is so obvious. But before I do that, please consider hitting the subscribe button, coming and joining the channel, leaving a comment down below whether you agree or disagree, all this sort of a thing. So let's just do it. So yeah, so I am enjoying She-Hulk, right? So this isn't a negative video about She-Hulk or anything like that. It is more aimed at Marvel themselves and what they are thinking in their psyche with the regards to its female offerings. Now, we've got to go back some time. If we go back to sort of like the mid-90s, early 2000s, that sort of era, it was obvious that female characters didn't bring in the big money at the box office. Female characters were always strong on TV. You had things like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Xena Warrior Princess, this kind of program, and they were always popular. But on the big screen at the cinema, people didn't go to see female-centric, action-led movies. And that's just the way it is. I mean, if you have a look, Supergirl failed in the 80s, yeah? The Catwoman movie failed. Elektra failed for Marvel. Barbed Wire failed. The Tomb Raider films didn't make the money that the companies wanted them to make. People just weren't interested in going and seeing strong female characters. But you go back a bit before this and things like Terminator and Aliens and this sort of thing, you had a strong female lead in those. So why did they endure, whereas these other ones didn't? Well, the reason is behind the basis of the stories. Terminator and Aliens were about the Terminator and about the aliens, and you just had a female character within it. But these other films are centered around female characters. It is the female character. Do you see where I'm going with this? So this happened in those eras, and these film studios lost faith in their female characters. And this was obvious with Marvel, because it took Marvel a very, very long time to give us a female-led superhero movie. And that came in the form of Miss Marvel. Or Captain Marvel, sorry. Miss Marvel's the TV show. Where's my mind at? We'll come on to that one. Captain Marvel, yes. How many MCU entries had we had before that? Before we had a female character? 20 or something? 19? I can't remember the number, but it's up there in those sort of figures. And you did have Black Widow within the films, and she was a strong character, and obviously we got her film. Now, Captain Marvel was released, and as we know, it did set the box office alight. It took mega amounts of money, but a lot of that was on the fact that it fell between Infinity War and Endgame. Infinity War ended, you know, on such a high with that little inclusion of the Captain Marvel logo on the little telepager or whatever you want to call it, that called for her, and everyone wanted to see what happened next, what came next. So they all drove into Captain Marvel. And now Captain Marvel isn't particularly a strong Marvel movie. It is lacking something. It is low down on the list of decent Marvel films. It's certainly lacking an element that the others did have. Forgo all the stuff about Brie Larson as an actress and you know how outspoken she is and all the crap that went on with that. It's not a particularly great film. That's just fact. Anyway, and I appreciate that some people like it. You know, art is subjective, film is art. There we go. So after that, we got Black Widow. Now, Black Widow came at us, and this was a film that was about a decade too late. Yeah, we should have had a Black Widow film miles before this, and this film again, it suffered for that very reason. And you know, the fact that it took Marvel this long to give us female characters headlining a film is just proof that they had no faith in female characters. Now, Black Widow, it was released during COVID, it was released on Disney Plus. They lost a lot of money with it, a lot of revenue that they could have taken had it been at the cinema. But even if it had been at the cinema, would it have made that much? No, because again, it's a film that feels like within the pantheon of Marvel films, it's not particularly needed. It doesn't do anything, it doesn't really progress any storylines or set much up beyond her sister. And that's about it. So a 2 hour odd film just to set up one character, which could have been introduced elsewhere anyway. But there we go. That aside, so Marvel lead you to believe that they do have faith in their female characters. They do lead you to believe this, right? Because of course they do. Because now recently, you know, we've had Miss Marvel, we've had She-Hulk, 2 characters back to back that are female, right? Now Miss Marvel, the TV series, isn't particularly great either. Right, it started off well, but then it declined. Me personally, even me, I didn't get to the end of Miss Marvel. I haven't finished it. I haven't finished it up because it done nothing for me, right? But glaringly, in this latest episode of She-Hulk, episode 4, this is where it just hit me in the face, right? That Marvel have still got no faith in their female characters, right? Is the fact that this series, and I'm not knocking the series because I enjoy the series, so don't take this as a dig at the series. In a sense, it's a dig at the behind the scenes and what they're thinking, okay? Right, because the series is a lot of fun. It's the fact that every episode has to have a male, well-known Marvel character. Yes, every episode now. 4 episodes in, and we've relied on Bruce Banner. We've relied on Tim Roth returning as... what's his face? I can't remember the character's name now. Jesus Christ, where's my mind at? The Abomination, yeah? You've had Tim Roth. And 2 episodes now, you've had Wong. Yeah, now Wong's a popular character. I love Wong. I love seeing Wong. He's really good, right? He plays off well against Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange. And he plays off well against other characters that he plays off against, right? He's a great character. Don't get me wrong, he really is. But the fact that we've now had 4 episodes, almost halfway through, 50% done in the series, and you've relied on a male character in every single episode is glaringly obvious that you don't have faith in She-Hulk to carry this series on her own, right? You're scared of the implications of it. Marvel are worried, yeah? But... you know, there's such a rich tapestry of characters that you could introduce, right? You know, little known characters and build something around She-Hulk with them. That it's such a shame that we are seeing it, you know, 50% in and take this route. You know, like I said, we're only at episode 4. There are 5 more episodes to come, and it could step away from this, right? But the reliance on strong male characters that we've already been introduced to is nothing more than a sign that we want you to get to know this character through the male counterparts in the series. You know, we're not allowing you to get used to She-Hulk alone in her own series, headlining her own series. We have to force a male counterpart there that you know already to boost her up, to boost the show up. And this is wrong. This is wrong, right? Because it is detracting from the character herself. I mean, in the breaking fourth wall moments in this episode, she does comment on it on herself, and Marvel think they're being a little bit funny, a little bit self-aware with this sort of thing. But no, it's just, why don't you just turn around and say, they don't have no faith in me carrying my own character in this series, right? Marvel are leading you to believe they do have faith in these female characters, with Captain Marvel, with Black Widow, with 2 female-centric led TV shows, with a female Thor. Yes, but they don't. They secretly don't. They secretly worry. They're still hurt. You know, the box office is still hurt by what went on years ago. When these female characters didn't do nothing. It scared studios off. And the ramifications and the ripples of that still exist today. And it is showing. So Marvel, get your act together and just lead with female characters if that's what you want to do. Stop having to, you know, have someone lift them up right? Because these characters are strong. Some of these characters, I've never read Miss Marvel, so I can't say nothing about it. She-Hulk is a decent character in the comics. She's a strong character, and she can carry her own comic book. She can carry her own TV series if needed. You just don't have the faith in the characters or in the community of people going to see these. The faith is lacking somewhere. So that's the little talk that I just wanted to have about that. So let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts on this are, right? Has it become glaringly obvious for you, if you're watching She-Hulk, that 4 episodes in, you've had to have a guest star, you know, a prolific guest star to help carry proceedings? It's glaringly obvious to me. But that's just me, you know. Anyway, this is AJ. Thank you for watching. Do hit the subscribe button. Do share your thoughts down below, because I will interact. I will reply to all comments. And I'll see you later. Take care all, and goodbye.
Yes, yes, yes. No.